So I wanted to get on here and just share a recipe. It's an oldie but goodie. And I'm just going to kind of put a few things together just to our personal preference taste. And this is completely ad lib. So I have the dog here. You're probably gonna hear him in the background. Gabriel is helping me video, and John is over here with his headphones on. So I am going to do a ring, and I'll be using the stoneware pan and crescent rolls because it's super easy and everybody loves those. So let's go over here. And I have my little prep area worked out. I have one of the new mats that we have available. It actually comes in a set of 3, but I'm gonna use this one. You know, you can always color code it to be either vegetable, meat, poultry, whichever you prefer. I'm just gonna use this one because I like the knives on there, because I actually do have 2 of them that I'll be using. I have the utility knife, which is one that you can really use for anything. And I also have the Santoku knife, which I literally use this one every single day. And I just got this one, but I'm already in love with it. So I never have to sharpen them. And I've had this one for over, I would say over a year. And they do have the sheath coverings, you know, to keep in the drawer and everything. So no need to worry about cutting yourself. All right, so I took a few shortcuts just because who doesn't love to do that. What I'm gonna do is just make like a chicken vegetable pesto ring. And we are going to start, I went ahead and, again, I just made a few shortcuts. I got some chicken tenders from Publix. And I'm going to chop up a few of those. And I'll use my Santoku knife for this one, just because it cuts super simple. And I'll keep it a little bit chunkier, just so that there's a little bit of texture in it when you bite. And of course, he's over here waiting for me to drop something. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in our all-purpose mixing bowl, plastic mixing bowl. And we do have 2 sizes in that one. I like the bigger one, but the small one works too. So it just kind of depends on what your preference is. So that's John. He can't hear himself apparently. But we're okay with that because this is real life, right? Okay, so again, I'm just chopping it up kind of coarsely. I did try to do it in the manual food processor, but it really kind of shredded it a little too much, but you can most certainly use that if you prefer to have more of a shredded like consistency. So this is only about 2 chicken tenders, and the Publix chicken tenders, if you've had them, you know that they are rather large, so they kind of go a long way. But of course you can do this with canned chicken if you have it. Any leftover rotisserie chicken. We don't ever have anything left over as far as that goes around here.
Because we're fat.
Okay, well, we're not really fat. It'll be okay. All right, so I think that looks pretty good because like I said, I'm gonna add a few other things in there. So right now this is a little over 2 cups, which I'm fine with that. I am going to use our new little tool where we can just slice everything in here, and you can actually do more than 1 or 2 mushrooms. I already did one. I just kind of wanted to see how it would look. And these are little nesting mixing, measuring cups. And you don't even have to, you know, try to figure it out and lean down trying to see if you've got the right measurements. You can stand right here and look and see perfectly. I love those. Use them all the time. So we're gonna go ahead and if you, Gabriel, can you step up so you can, okay, perfect. So you're just gonna lay them flat on here, and then you're going to just push down. Whoops, where did it go? Okay, you're just gonna push it down like that. Okay, so you can use it that way. And if you want it to be a little bit smaller, I actually did this myself and I put it back on here. Just like this to go the opposite direction to cut it, just to see what it would look like, and it actually came out pretty well. So, okay, so I'm happy with those. And again, if you want to, you can put it in, I'll do one in the manual processor too, just so you can see how that one works. So I'm okay with these. So this kind of gives you a little bit chunkier pieces, but that's okay. I like that. And you know, because they kind of shrink down when you cook them anyway. So now I'll just throw them in here so you can see how it cuts it up a little bit better. And I'll put a whole one in there. I can just break it up, put it in there a little bit easier. All right, so I'm gonna just pump it a few times. Super easy, and it came out really well. This one, of course, just because it was a little bit bigger, and I had already done those, so I'll put that one in by itself. But it came out really good. I like that. Okay, so that's literally 1 cup, and I'll throw this one back in here just to chop it up. So I didn't want to pulverize the other one. Okay, and that looks good. I'll just go ahead and dump that in there with my chicken. And I'm gonna put this one that I've already done in there also. Okay, I'm moving those on the side. Now I have to admit I don't have fresh garlic, which I always do, and I love the garlic press. Typically you would just, well, here it is. When you have the garlic press, you just put the clove of garlic right in there and press it down, comes right out perfectly. And they've actually changed the little cleaning tool, how you can scoop it out, and then if, you know, because it always does get stuck here. So you just pop that through and it's easy to get out. Okay, so I'm not gonna use that. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit. And I use the this garlic paste, and it works just perfectly. So I'm gonna just squeeze a little bit in there, because who doesn't love garlic? And I also have some fresh chives that I got. And this is one of our little kitchen shears. And we have all different kinds now. They, you know, they're always doing new and great ones, but these are real simple because you literally just hold it and cut. And I love that. It's just so easy. But I'll also show you how to use the utility knife if you want to. Be careful with this because I did cut myself earlier just playing around with it, so it can hurt you. Okay, so then this is the utility knife again. Real ease of use and cuts really nicely. You can also use the Santoku knife. It's a little bit easier for faster chopping, so I kind of like that. But again, you can use both. Okay, so I'll put a little bit of chive in there. So we have our chive, we have our garlic, and we have a rosemary tree outside. I'm very surprised that I haven't killed it yet. And this is one of our herb strippers. So we just go ahead, in here, and you just fit it into the one that you think it will work with. This I think is like the second one. Whoops. This one may be too fresh to do, honestly. I literally just picked it. Let's try. Okay, so see, it pulls it right off of the stem, and then you're just stuck with the leaves that you want. And actually, this is so fresh, I could really cut the whole thing, which I probably will. And I just kind of bundle it up as close as I can. Just be careful not to chop your fingers, because we need those. And you don't have to do it too small, you know, just enough to kind of get a nice release of those flavors. Okay, so go ahead and drop that in there too. And also, and I brought this one out too. This is another one of the stainless steel mixing bowls, which they have a set of 3 of them, and they're great as well. And they also come with lids. I just wanted to show this one too because you can use that if you wanted to mix something in here before you mix it in with the chicken, but you don't have to. Okay, so in here I have already, this is one of our little prep bowls. They come in really handy. This is our mix and scrape. So this is about a little over 2 ounces of cream cheese. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then also, this is grilled vegetable pesto. You can use anything that you want though. I like the flavor of this one. It's just a little bit different, adds another depth of flavor. So I'm just gonna take just eyeball about a teaspoon. And these are our measuring spoons. Love them. They actually have them, these are clear. These are clear now. And but these I've had for years, and again, I use those all the time too. I'm just gonna put that one in there. And then we also have these measuring nesting spoons. These are great as well. I use those all the time. Okay, so now that I have that in there, I'm also going to get a little bit of mayonnaise. This is one of our, this is from years ago, and it is just like a little server that you would use to have with your appetizers and what have you. But I am going to be getting the new scraper that they have, so you can get into those deep jars so that nothing goes to waste. But I'm just gonna, again, kind of eyeball it. But I have this if I wanted to use it instead. This is pretty old too, and now they have mine actually the letters and things or numbers are coming off because I've used it so much. But I'm going to do, oh, this is the wrong, I have it the wrong way. Okay, so all liquids go in here for measuring, and then this one is for your solids, and I only need, oh goodness, I only need about about a half a cup. So I'm just putting it at my half cup little measurement. See, if I had the longer one, I'd be able to reach in there without getting the goop all over my little handle there, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. But that would definitely be something on my wish list. Okay, good. It doesn't have to be perfect. See? Perfect mess. All right. So this, pretty simple. Just pop and go. So now I have all of those in there. I've got all my ingredients. I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna just kind of mix this around a little bit. And again, it really helps to have the chicken already cooked and ready to go. So I just want to make sure that that cream cheese doesn't stay in a ball. I had left it out for a few minutes just to soften it up a little bit, and that helps too. Okay, so it looks really good. I mean, you could put ranch flavoring in here. You could use the dill, all-purpose dill mix also. But again, I am taking a little bit of a shortcut, and I got the fully cooked bacon just because I knew I wasn't really gonna have time to cook the bacon. But again, for a shortcut, this is totally fine. And again, who doesn't love a shortcut? All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get my santoku. And they already pretty much have them stacked, so it just kind of depends on what you wanna do. But just go cut right through. You can make them as thick or as thin as you want. This is about 7 pieces, but you know, these pieces are kind of thin. So you know, you don't have to cut too hard, and I don't know that I will cut them any more than that because they're for sure gonna kind of melt away in the dish. So, okay. So we've got that. Stir that around a little bit more, get that incorporated. And I'm also gonna add some cheese, because who doesn't love cheese? I'm like the cheese queen. My personal favorite is Sargento, and this is the 4-cheese Mexican. I just like that it has more than just one flavor, and it's so good. Okay, so these are also our little, I don't know what I do with the other ones. So these are just nesting inside the drawer, but these are awesome. I've been meaning to get a little ring to put them on, but they're just, I usually just grab and go with the one that I want. So this one, just get in there, and that's a cut, a little over. I'm not worried about that either because I love cheese. So, again, just gonna mix that up until it gets to the consistency and kind of mixture that you want. That vegetable pesto is going to be awesome in this. It really is. Gabriel's nodding his head because I know he can't wait. Okay. All right. So the next step is, let me just go ahead and clean this off real quick. Okay. The next step is going to be to get my stoneware round pan. a little bit seasoned. I've had this for, actually, it's almost as old as you. It's like 14 years old, so if that's any indication.
It's disgusting.
And you know, the darker the color, the more seasoned it is, and the less stick that you'll ever have, although I've never had any problems with any of this sticking. So another thing that I picked up today, which I thought was super cool, and I hadn't seen them because I've been trying not to eat so much bread, but crescent rolls, now they have a sweet Hawaiian. So I thought that that would be a super cool thing to try with this. So I guess I should have preheated my oven to 350, but it won't take long. So you're just gonna open up your crescent rolls. Let's see. Oh, bravo. All right, so we've got that one open, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use 2 of them. I guess I can wait. Let me. Okay, so these you do want to separate them because you're basically gonna be making a round circle and keeping. It even smells sweet. It smells really good. So if you've ever seen one of these done, basically you're just going to like keep overlapping it until you have the 2 of them. There, I'm just gonna move this over so I can get it better. Because see, some of them are a little bit smaller than others, but that's okay. Because who really cares? Once it bakes up, it's gonna be beautiful. So, and again, this doesn't have to be something that's like totally perfect. It's just so that you have enough of the area to cover. You want to leave, seems like my circle isn't getting in there. That's okay. I'll just have to get over that. Okay, and have my little rolling pin here. So you can just go ahead and roll it out a little bit just so it will lay a little flatter against each other. So as you can see, I'm not really doing much to it. It's just enough to kind of flatten it out. Easy. And I'll open this one. It just smells sweet. It actually smells like a little orangey. Okay. So same thing. You're just gonna go around. And I'll probably overlap a few because it looks like I'm going to have a little bit of extra. Oops. And you don't have to worry. If one of them breaks, it breaks. No big deal. So taking shortcuts when you can is really going to be key. Especially, I mean, you know, nobody has a whole lot of time to dedicate to, you know, full-on gourmet dinners, but I'll tell you, I've never had any of the kids tell me, like, you know, that they are disgusted with dinner and wish they had dinner. Right, Gabriel?
No.
No? Okay. He's lying. All right, so, I mean, I really don't even have to do this, but
Yes, you do.
I guess just to, I don't want to waste any of it. So I'll see this one maybe looks a little bit off. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're just going to be wrapping it around anyway. So you just want to give yourself enough surface area to actually put the mixture. Okay, you want to try to keep it all in here. So let me grab my scoop. These scoopers are totally awesome, and they measure, I mean, we use them for all kinds of things. You can use them for cookies, you can use them to make meatballs, but this is, you know, it's just a much easier way to, if you want a perfect measure, to get it on here. But I'm just using it really as a scoop at this point. I didn't even put any salt or pepper, just because I know that, you know, the salt content and, you know, the weight, I mean, then the tenders and everything is already kind of high. Plus with the cheese and with the vegetable pesto, it's really gonna help a lot. And also with the cream cheese that's in there, there's already gonna be a lot of flavor. And you can also, when you're finished, if you want, you can put inside the middle, you could put a little bit of extra ranch dressing in there. If your kids are ranch people like mine are, or you could add some more extra pesto, or, you know, whatever your family enjoys. So, I mean, ultimately, this really doesn't take a lot of time. So you could, excuse me, are you even on me? Like, you guys are probably not even looking anywhere. Here. He's down there petting the dog, answering the video. So we multitask here. All right.
No, I got it all on video.
All on video. Okay, great. All right. So I have all of it in there, and I am so excited. I don't have any left over, so that is fantastic. So let me just rinse off here real quick. And all I'm gonna do is start rolling, grabbing the top pieces, or the dangly pieces, and I'm just gonna literally roll it right over the top. You know, and leaving a little bit of extra. If you can you lift up a little bit? So some of them were a little bit longer, so I just kind of wrapped it around here over to the side, just so, you know, because it will expand a little bit. So you don't have to tuck it or anything. It'll all be fine once you get it done. I mean, you could trim it, I guess, if you don't want extra bread, but who doesn't want extra bread?